Alright, in today's video, we're going to be talking about monetary policy. So, monetary policy is a practice where a monetary authority controls the money supply, often to target a certain level of interest rates so that they can achieve certain macroeconomic goals. Let's break things down so that it'll be easier to understand. Now let's take a look at monetary authority. So the monetary authority here actually refers to the central bank in a particular country. So the central bank is the bank of all the banks, right? It's a mother of all banks. So let's take a look at the USA. So in the USA, the central bank is known as the Federal Reserve. Nope, it is not the Bank of America. The Bank of America is just, one of the regular banks doing consumer investment banking and commercial banking, what have you. In Singapore, the central bank is known as the Monetary Authority of Singapore. Well, it's not the Bank of Singapore. The Bank of Singapore is the private banking arm of OCBC Bank, okay? And in the United Kingdom, the central bank is the Bank of England. So when we talk about controlling the money supply, there are actually three ways in which the central bank can do this, but we're going to talk about this only later. So to understand what it means to control the money supply, let's take a look at the money market diagram. So the money supply curve is the vertical straight line that you see over there. So increasing the money supply will look like this, bringing the interest rates down, and reducing the money supply would look like this, bringing the interest rates up. And that brings me to the next point on targeting a level of interest rates. Okay, so why do we do this? Well, that is because the central bank wants to stimulate either an increase or a decrease in aggregate expenditure. And you should already know by now that interest rates would affect the amount of investment spending in an economy, and that is how the aggregate expenditure is going to be stimulated. So we know that investment spending has a negative relationship with your interest rates. So if the central bank somehow manages to reduce the interest rate level, this would increase investments, hence an increase in AE and output. And if we go the other way around, then you would have a decrease in AE as well as output. Okay, and in some cases, consumption can also be stimulated with the interest rates. So this is only when the consumption function is a function of not only your disposable income, but interest rates at the same time. So we include interest rates only when the question states so, right? So the disposable income has a positive relationship with consumption, which means that if disposable income increases, consumption will increase. And just like investment, consumption might have a negative relationship with interest rates. So that is how affecting the interest rates is going to stimulate either an increase or a decrease in aggregate expenditure. And there are two types of macroeconomic goals that I can think of. The first one would be to cool an economic boom. Okay, we're talking about cooling down the economy. So just to recap, an economic boom occurs when the level of GDP is higher than the natural rate of GDP. Okay, and why would we want to cool down this economy? Well, that's because we want to reduce inflation, right? Inflation isn't exactly good. And what you're going to need is a contractionary monetary policy, which means that you reduce the GDP level in the country so that it will reach its natural level again. So the second type of macroeconomic goal would be to recover from a recession, which occurs when the GDP is lesser than the natural level. Okay, the problem is that you're going to have a lot of unemployment, so you want to reduce the level of unemployment through a expansionary monetary policy. So basically you increase the GDP level so that there'll be more spending, more jobs will be going around. Okay, so that's a breakdown of what monetary policy is about. Now if you recall from the video in the fiscal policy, we talked about an ISLM analysis that is too simple and does not show any understanding of the mechanics and the intuition behind the IS curve and the LM curve. So now we're going to talk about the ISLM mechanics in detail, and we're going to have to consider the effects of both the goods market as well as your money market. Alright, this was somewhat discussed in the previous video. So in the goods market, just to recap, you're going to be using the Keynesian cross diagram, which gives birth to your IS curve. And for the money market, you're going to be using the money market diagram, which gives birth to your LM curve. Okay, so let's take a look at the diagrams, and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to set up my initial equilibrium. You're going to notice that there's going to be an ISLM model, and on top of it is going to be my Keynesian cross diagram, and on the left side, that's my money market model.
Thanks for watching a sample of the Quickienomics online learning experience. We hope you've enjoyed it. We believe that true happiness lies in realizing ambitions and dreams. That's why we make our products specific to your needs. Simple to understand and captivating, so that you can learn effectively while saving time, realizing those ambitions and dreams. The Quickienomics online learning experience is a range of supplementary lectures, tutorials, and exam solutions in the form of videos, which you can conveniently view anytime, anywhere. Watching our videos before and after your regular lessons at school, we aim to give you joy in learning and build academic confidence at the comfort of your own relaxed learning environment. So how can you begin? We welcome you to purchase Quickie Dollars to redeem the videos for full access to the Quickienomics online learning experience. Thank you for starting with Quickienomics.